for joining us today. This is our 5th episode of Machine Success, which is just crazy. We are having an absolute blast interviewing some of the leaders in our industry that are serving in all sorts of different roles and impacting their regions as well as our industry as a whole. And today we're joined by Brian Warren, referred to as the GOAT by his students, both privately and publicly. Brian has created an absolute vibe around his program at Meridan Community College. Industry is not only clamoring to hire his students, but his students are bragging on his program, their success, and so much about their certifications and success on both the state and national stage. Brian came to the program at Meridan Community College back in 2005 with one 1999 VFO running and about 10 students in the program and no air conditioning. Did I mention Brian's in Mississippi with no air conditioning? Through grit and determination, the program now boasts 25 graduates per year and will grow to over 30 students next semester. Brian now has 9 Haas CNC machines, including a UMC 5-axis, and they're in a state-of-the-art center. Some would say luck has come into play, but anyone that works like Brian knows passion, vision, and hard work tends to give you some pretty lucky results. Now, not only is he running an advanced CNC program at the Gene Haas Center with air conditioning at Meridan Community College, but Brian's students are succeeding in and out of the classroom, and he is assisting in the development of one of our most valuable assets, more instructors. With state and national medalists for Skills USA CNC competitions, today we have the privilege of stealing some secret sauce. Let's jump in and share a little about Brian's secrets for success.
Awesome. Thank you, Brian, so much for joining us today. I love following you on social media. And one of the things I really enjoy about you is how proud you are of your students. So I know you have a lot of pride for what you do and a lot of pride in your students. So I love seeing that, man. So one thing I want to ask right out of the gate here is, can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with industry in your region where the school is?
Well, as far as locally, we don't have a lot of industry here in our county, but 100 miles in any direction around us, there's a ton. So we kind of serve out. They're out of my district for the most part, so we can't just come over anytime we want to. But if they contact us, then it's a green light, and we can definitely send them students that way. Send their resumes to them. We take tours and go see them. But I travel a lot, so in my off time, which my wife would tell you, I'm never off work. So even on Friday or Saturdays, I was like, hey, I'm gonna stop by and see this guy, while we're passing through. It goes, it's a back and forth, but I always try to under promise and over deliver. So when they call, ask me for somebody, I want to give them the best I absolutely can. That's a good match for that place where they'll call back again. Because the first time we ever send them someone and we say they can do something that they can't, they're done calling.
Absolutely. And Brian, I know from a fact traveling through the state of Mississippi that your program is not just known within the bounds of your state. You have companies from outside of your state, not just your region, that are actively recruiting your students. Why do you think your students are so in demand?
I say, you don't really want to just toot your own horn.
You kind of have to.
Lot, but it comes down to supply and demand, really. Which we've been real fortunate with social media. Particularly with LinkedIn. Everybody kind of overlooks LinkedIn, but it is by and far the best one to promote your students and programs. So I have all the students creating LinkedIn accounts, and they put their parts on. I share them, and it's a network. So I'm trying to teach them about networking. We've had companies from Canada, Oregon, several from California, East Coast, down in Mexico, asking can we come do training for them. What really got all that started was one LinkedIn post that just exploded, over 200,000 views. I'll tell you, I was pretty new to LinkedIn, and I was looking for some content to put on there. I had 47 connections. At the end of the day, I had 350 connections. After that one post, and it was just it took off from there. regionally, nationally, we're dealing with a lot, but Skills USA has definitely played a part in that. We got to meet a lot of instructors from all over the country, and being part of the Haas network, that's a real valuable networking tool, that I think a lot of people, kind of overlook, the importance of it. The H-Tech group on Facebook and other places, I say, right now I know instructors all over the country, and we speak regularly, trade ideas and talk about what works, what don't work. And so, I mean, that's really helped grow our national presence.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that, especially your social media presence, because I do want to note a lot of programs don't have access to like create a Facebook page or post. Brian, you do everything on your personal page, correct? You're posting everything on your personal, and then your students. I mean, again, it's like I don't see you post without a goat emoji popping up from any of your students. But yeah. I think it's really important that is huge. You've got to network and market your program. So I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I say, it would be nice if I had the luxury of having a program that the average everyday person knew what we were. But we don't. Machining, they have no clue what we are, or they have this antiquated idea of what machining is. It's modern, it's computerized, it's air conditioned now, which is probably my best selling point. But I talk to a lot of students, and they say, well, my uncle said there's no work for machining. And I say, well, your uncle's wrong. I hate to tell you, and I really hope your uncle's not bigger than I am, but he's wrong. I say, guys just don't understand, guys and girls now, that CNC is where the work is. There are so many jobs for that. I could triple my capacity and still couldn't fill all the jobs that we could be capable of filling every semester, which, we're putting out graduates every May and December now, and most of them get 2 to 3 job offers. And I was talking to a student yesterday, because I was telling him back when I started doing this, 99, 98, you had to really go out begging for a job in your first chance, and they were doing you a huge favor, just letting you get your first job. And now they're being recruited, which, and they're starting at the top pay, for somebody coming in, and that's just a world of difference from what it was 20 years ago.
Well, I'm glad to see the companies are recognizing the value of these students entering the industry and the skills that you've been able to give them to make them successful. And again, you cannot understate the importance of these students marketing themselves, and then obviously marketing what you're doing as well too. And you've built this awesome culture within your program. So, tell us about that culture that you've kind of created, and then what makes it different than, say, another machining program.
Well, I think the best part about ours is it grew organically. It wasn't forced. It wasn't a marketing campaign or anything. It was just one of the students years ago started comparing us to the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. So that's where the GOAT thing came from. Where every time we'd win a competition or something, there's always going to be some people that don't like it when you win every year. So the GOAT thing started as just putting it on there and just kind of rubbing it in a little bit. But that took off from there. So now it's just, if we put something on social media, somebody's going to put a GOAT on it. And if a student puts a GOAT and I don't reply with a GOAT, I'll hear about it in a few minutes. He'll send me a text, hey, I want my GOAT. But I say, how I do the program is I'm working as a teacher, but I'm a machinist, and this is on the job training. So we kind of try to make it as much like the real world as we can. It's informal. We've had some war stories over the years that are just hilarious. They're not suitable for work. Some of them we couldn't tell them all, but I say one that pops into mind, just kind of the relationship we have, is I had a student a couple of years ago named Cole Breland, and he was bad about anytime you had a picture of yourself show up anywhere, he would zoom in on one particular part of your face and send it to everybody, and he would just do that over and over and over. So this was during the COVID year. He was going to graduate. So around April 2020, they were doing a story about some graduates in Meridian Star, and of course we wasn't on campus. And she wanted some pictures. So I didn't really have but 2 pictures on my phone of Cole. I had one with his eyes closed, and I sent that to her. And the other one was a really, really embarrassing picture that he didn't like. He didn't like that I would mess with him with. So she called me back. She said, "Well, I can't use this one. His eyes are closed." And I'm sitting there. I was all right. We're about to pull this off. I'm about to get this in the paper. And so I got this picture with him making a really awkward face, and it made the front page of the paper. Then the college picked up on it, and they shared it all through the summer. And he just every time it pop up somewhere, he said, "I'm gonna sue you for harassment," but I say, I mean, I just kind of look at it like we're doing work, we're on the job training. We have a little of the hazing where they send them to look for tools that don't exist, and the freshmen get it done to them, then they can't wait to do it to the freshmen next year. Here recently, I had some students start in January, and in our tool bins, we got everything kind of 5S organized. We got masking tape, electrical tape, 5S tape. He came up to me very, very serious concern. He said, "Mr. Brian, I can't find the VHS tape." And, and so I tried not to smile, and I was like, "What do you need that for?" He said, "Oh, no, Noah told me to go get some VHS tape." I said, "Maybe you need to go look in the vending machine." So we just kind of keep it going, But I say you're kind of preparing them for what the real world's going to be like. So when they get to that shop, they're just not completely green. But on the same time, we do get very serious and we get very competitive. And that's what's kind of brought in is the philosophy. I tell some of them okay, well, he is bought into the program now. If he's bought into it, he's eating, sleeping, breathing, machining. We get group texts going where they're asking questions about machining at 9 o'clock at night or on Saturday or Sunday, and they're getting ready for the next week. So those guys, they really just live the life for 2 years, and they're not so new when they get to the job for the first day. And I think that's kind of what helps our guys stand out more so than others, because they're just kind of they're more acclimated to the machining world than just being in a real formal school setting.
I think you make it fun. I think you make it really fun and engaging, which makes them bring more students in as well. So I can tell a firsthand story of when I came down for the ribbon cutting of your Gene Haas Center, and a young lady came in that day because you had met her a few days earlier while she was begging for a job and they wouldn't let her. You're like, "Come to my program." So Brian, one of the things I want to talk about is you are recruiting 24/7 because everybody knows who you are, what you do, and where your program is. How do you shift to that mindset that you are recruiting and sharing your program 24/7?
I say I'm always just out looking for talent, and it's not really, I'm not looking for somebody sitting turning a wrench somewhere. I'm looking for that ambition and drive. If I go to a restaurant and there's a waiter or waitress that's just really, just getting after it, you can tell they're a hard worker. So I always carry cards with me. So I'm like, "Hey, you want to make some real money? You want to do something different?" Which I recruited a guy that was working at an oil change place one time, several gas stations, just seeing people apply for jobs. I talked to some of the local companies, and I say, "Hey, if you get somebody that applies that's not really qualified, but you like them, you think they have good character, send them to me. Let me talk to them." But I say it gets annoying to the family, because sometimes I have to stop what we're doing, and I'm over here talking to somebody for 20 or 30 minutes. But if I can ever get them to come in here and see this place, most of the time we got them after that. But it's a matter of getting them through the door, and just and I tell you, one of my biggest things I use is the Haas Tip of the Day videos. I tell them to go check out on YouTube, go check out Haas Tip of the Day, and kind of see what machining is like and programming is like, and because that's something quick and easy they can do. I have links stored to it on my phone. I got my cell phone number on my business card, which a lot of people don't do that, but I print it on there, and I don't mind, anybody, they'll call, somebody from the college will call sometime. "Hey, so-and-so wants to get a hold of you. You mind if I give you your cell phone number?" Say, "Absolutely, give it to them." That's what it's for. The more students I can get in here, the better off we are, the better off the industry is.
And that is why your program is always full. I just want to put it out there. That's why your program is always full, is everybody knows what you do, and you are not looking for machinists.
No, I'm looking for the character, the person. We can make somebody into a machinist. We just need the right foundation
Yeah,
to
that's
build
awesome.
that
You have to
off
wear
of.
so many
So,
hats as an instructor, don't you? And being an advocate for your program,
yeah.
the marketing, the promotion, it's all part of the deal. And I know another important aspect of that is, it seems like you maintain good relationships with your graduates. So, can you talk a little bit about that, like how those relationships continue on after a student comes through your program?
Oh yeah. I say, it's impossible to teach somebody everything they need to know about
Yeah.
machining in 2 years. That's I say 10 to 20 years, and you never stop learning. So generally we have a group text set up with the class, particularly in our second year, when they're getting ready to go to work. That group text stays alive. And, there's one I still get regular messages from, but the guys have questions, when they get out to work, or they want career advice, or, sometimes, after you've been somewhere a few years, you get another offer, and they, what should I do? And so I try not to tell them exactly what they should do. I tell them kind of the pros and cons, how to look at it, but I let them make that decision. But I've got students back from 20 years ago from the school I was at before here, for a few years that I still talk with regular, through social media. I say that's kind of the best part is getting to see, somebody grow in their career, and I always tell them, I say, hey, one day you're going to be disgruntled, miserable, and old, just like the rest of us, So you see them, come in, and they're young, fresh, and excited. 10 years from then, they're complaining about everything. I say, all right, you're a real machinist now. So,
Well, I think, Brian, if you're cool with it, that's kind of wraps up the main portion of our questions, but we want to hit you with some rapid fire questions. So, Tony, you want to kick that off?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you could spend the day in anyone else's shoes, whose would they be?
Axel Rose.
Oh, I like it. I like
Now,
it.
Brian, being friends with you on Facebook and stuff, I'm pretty sure you and I share the same passion for what sport we like to watch. But let's see if I'm right here. What's the best sport to watch live for you?
Football.
Now, I thought you was gonna say UFC. You seem like you're a UFC jiu-jitsu fan as well too, right?
Well, I am. I say, but I say I can watch football for free. The UFC pay-per-views cost a lot.
What is the first career you dreamed about as a kid?
I wanted to be a pro wrestler.
Well, there you go, Clint. That ties in with your question.
Yeah. That's really what I wanted to do. I actually tried
What
out
would your
at
name
18.
be as a wrestler?
I mean, Stone Cold already had the bald beard
GOAT,
gimmick, so I don't know. I don't know what they did, but we went to we paid, me and a friend of mine paid to go to a wrestling camp, and we paid them to slam us around and throw us into stuff and learn how to take falls, and we subscribed to it. It used to be a company called WCW in Atlanta. And they had a power plant there, and you could go try out. So you had to pay to get there and pay to get somebody to endorse you to try out. But we were trying to get to that level. We never even made it that far. And so at the time they were not looking for any more Southern accent guys at all. In Atlanta, in Atlanta, of all places.
All right, from one machinist to another, dial calipers or digital calipers?
Dial calipers.
I figured.
I have recently changed my stance and allowed them to start using digital if they have them. But as far as the classwork, they're going to do dials, and I still teach them how to read veneers too. So.
What is the best piece of career advice anyone ever gave you?
Stay driven. So don't just get complacent. And I was reading something the other night. They said, they was talking about the difference in equity between men and women. And men will apply for jobs when they only meet 60% of the qualifications, but women feel like they need to meet 90% or more. So I started telling it to my daughters, trying to make them learn to take chances, which I can tell you when when I applied for the first teaching job, my parents laughed. And everybody told you can't you can't do that. You hate school. I said, yeah, I was a horrible student, but hopefully I turned out to be a pretty good
I would
teacher.
put you on the top of the list. You're an absolute gem. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and working with you over the last couple of years. And you talk about somebody's career blossoming. You're in full bloom. I mean, you're doing awesome things. To see what you're doing, how you're doing it, the impact that you're having is absolutely amazing. So good.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining, Brian. Thanks to
it.
everyone for listening. We're going to have more episodes coming soon. So appreciate all of you. And thanks again, Brian.